The push for SB 918 was introduced by Republican Senator Jay Collins, and it follows Florida's crackdown on undocumented workers, which, like I mentioned, has left a major labor shortages in industries like agriculture and hospitality. Governor Ron DeSantis and Republican lawmakers argue that minors can help fill this gap. In a recent panel discussion, DeSantis stated, "What's wrong with expecting our young people to be working part-time now? That's how it used to be when I was growing up." But this is disingenuous because what DeSantis fails to acknowledge is that if he actually worked as a teenager, then he benefited from the protections of the current law. And it was those very same protections that allowed him to focus on his education, which led him to eventually become the governor of Florida. Also, if he worked as a teenager, it was probably part-time, not full-time like this bill allows. He could probably take a 30-minute lunch break if he worked an 8-hour shift, which under this bill he can't do. He didn't have to work overnight while going to school as the new bill allows. So in other words, he was protected by the Fair Labor Standards Act of 1938, a law that he's currently trying to undermine. Also, the implication that young people in Florida aren't already working part-time is blatantly misleading. Young people can and do work part-time under the current law, so there's no need for the law to be amended. So to be clear, what this bill aims to do is to fill job vacancies left by the deportation of undocumented workers. These are jobs that most adult Americans don't want to perform, so they're priming younger generations of likely low-income minors that may not have even discovered their voice or agency, primed for exploitation. And you best believe that none of these senators' children will be taking any of these jobs. So it will be left to low-income minors that will be vulnerable to this type of exploitation.